So again, simple concept here. The average customer acquisition cost is 500 rupees or $500. The average customer revenue per year is 1,000. Customer retention rate is 25%. Okay. So then what is the churn rate? The customer retention rate is 75%. The churn rate is simply 1 minus this, 1 minus 75%. Or maybe I'll let you calculate it and give me a couple of minutes. Please tell me what is the customer lifetime value. 1 minus customer retention rate. That is, if you're losing, if you're only able to retain 75% of the people, you're losing 25% of the people. That is the idea. So it is 1 minus customer retention rate will give you the churn rate. Okay. So if you are losing at 25% per year, you will basically, your average lifetime is 1 divided by this. And that is going to be 4 years. So in 4 years, you will lose all the customers, or let's say the average lifetime of the customer is 4 years. And once we have these two figures, the customer lifetime value is nothing but the average customer revenue per year multiplied by the number of years you're going to keep him, which is average lifetime in years, and you deduct the customer acquisition cost. That is 500. And that is 3,500. Okay. So if this is all right, we will go to the more involved problem.
So I have some problem, that is,
yeah, please.
If we have 100 customers and we lose at 20% per year, so then in the third year it would be 64, right? 80 minus.
I'll come to that. This is a very simplistic problem. I'll come to the problem that you're talking about. Please look at CLV method 3 and you will have exactly what you're referring to when you lose and gain customers over a period of time. Okay, that is Magnimetrics Incorporated. And the Word file is there also in the drive. Please go through that, Magnimetrics Incorporated. I'll come back to you, Sayan. Hopefully your problem should get solved once we are done with this. Okay.
Yes.
So that is CLV method 3, Magnimetrics Inc. So please have a quick read of the problem. We'll proceed. So I'm going to begin with the givens in the problem. Magnimetrics Incorporated has spent 1,25,000 on a major campaign with intent to acquire new customer for its specialized software product. At the end of the campaign period lasting 1 year, 85 new customers were acquired. So total spent on advertising was 125,000. With the intent to acquire new customer for its specialized product. At the end of the campaign period lasting 1 year, 85 new customers. Number of customers acquired is 85. The projected average revenue per year is $1,200, which is expected to grow by 25% over 2 years. The company expects the campaign effect to wear off eventually and expects the growth rate to drop to 20% and 15% in subsequent years. So the projected average customer revenue per year is 1,200. So let's say year 1, it is going to get 1,200, and it is to grow by 25% over 2 years. Okay, so 0.25, 0.25. Let me format it to percentage. This is dollar. This is also dollar. This is also dollar. Okay. I'll kill the decimals. Okay. All right. So the company expects it's expected to grow 25% over the next 2 years. The company expects the campaign to wear off eventually and expects the growth rate to drop 20% and 50% subsequent years. So it goes to 20%, that is 0.2 and to 0.15. 0.15, 15%. This is 0.2% and copy the formatting here. These are the events on the problem. Confident of the excellent campaign they run, the company hopes to retain all the customers at the end of first year. Okay, so before moving forward, so first we determine the average customer acquisition cost. So the average customer acquisition cost is the total spent on advertising divided by the number of customers you have obtained, which is 1,25,000 divided by 85. Okay. This is the customer acquisition cost. Now, the revenue is 1,200, which is expected to grow by 25% over the next 2 years. So this grows at 25%. So let us say how much that amount is going to be. That is this multiplied by 1 plus the rate. Okay. And I can simply drag the formula, magic of Excel. Just check whether the formula is fine. Yes, it is picking up the right values. Okay. Let me also format it the right way. So the revenue is going to be 1,200. It will grow at 25% to become 1,500. Again, grow at 25% to become 1,875. It will thereafter grow at only 20% to become 2,250, and then grow at 15%, and then become eventually $2,588. Okay, so this is the revenue part. Now, gross profit margin. We will come to that. Which is confident of the excellent campaign therein, the company hopes to retain all the customers at the end of year in the first year. So the first year customer retention rate, you're going to retain everyone. So that's going to be 100%. 1. You're not losing anyone. Company hopes to retain. In the subsequent year, they expect a churn rate of 40%. So expecting a churn rate. So let's put churn rate here. Churn rate is 0.4. In the subsequent year, they expect a churn rate of 40%, as is the industry standard. However, they're hoping to cut down the churn rate to 30% in year 3. So year 3, you will cut down to 30%, 0.3, 25% at the end of year 4, 0.25 at the end of year 4, and 20% by the end of year 5. Come down to 0.2. Okay. Let me format this percentage. Okay. Now, if the churn rate is 40%, your retention rate is 1 minus that is equal to 1 minus 40%. Okay. Let me copy the formula across. Okay. Now, yeah.
Why is it 1 for all? Means why 1 minus 30 means 100 minus 30%?
No, for every year you are losing that much, no? But cumulatively, it will sort of, there will be cumulative effect. But every year, say first year the churn rate is 40%. Next year you are able to control it, bring it down to 30%. So 30% means 1 minus 30, 70. 70% you are retaining.
So it should be 60% minus that 30%, right?
No. Wait. Yeah, I know what you're saying. So that is the cumulative thing you're talking about.
Yes.
Okay, so that is below that. It's coming below that. Okay, so let 1 second. Okay, now it will be this multiplied by this. I drag this formula. Is this okay? Sign?
So I feel it's same. Means if one means 85 customers, that means I'm losing 40. That 85 minus 40, and then again I'm losing 30%. Then that 80 minus 40, that value minus 30%.
No. Can you explain
why I'm
that?
taking 85 as
See, your first year you're losing 40%. Next year you're cutting down to 30%, and this part is okay. The churn rate like 40%,
Yes.
30%. Yeah. So when you say you're losing churn rate, that is per year. Okay. If you're losing 40% per year, you're only able to retain 60% that year. Is that okay? Okay. Next
Yes.
year, if you're losing 30%, you're retaining 70% customer retention rate.
So I'm losing 30% from the number of customer base from second year, right?
I agree. That is the reason I have this cumulative thing here. That cumulative retention rate. Please look at this.
So let me think.
Yeah, just a minute. So first year, let me put this as percentage. Okay, first you have this, then second year, wait, you have this into this, sorry, yeah. Is equal to this multiplied by this and drag it across. It was an error in multiplying this, okay. Yeah, is it okay, Sayan?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Satisfied now.
Okay, yeah. Fine. I think I made a mistake in that putting that formula, dragging the formula. What he said is right. This into that, but it's just that the formula was actually so. Initially, first year you retain 100% of your customers because retention rate is 100. Okay. Then 60% of that is 0.6. Then 70% of this 0.42, and so on and so forth. Okay. Is that okay? Any other issues so far other than Sayan? Sayan, you're satisfied now, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Fine. Okay. So that is the cumulative retention rate. Now we have this. Okay. Now estimate the customer profit for Magnimetrics for each of the first 5 years and after the campaign period ends. So estimate the customer profit for Magnimetrics. So, and then assuming a 10% discount rate and a gross profit margin of 70%, estimate the customer lifetime value at the end of year 5. So it's given the discount rate 10%, and it's given the gross profit margin. Okay, so the gross profit margin is here. 0.7, which stays constant. So basically you lose 30% of money in selling and general administrative expenses. 0.7, gross margin is 0.7. We drag that across, make it into percentage, 70%. Okay, so if gross margin is 70%, the gross profit will be revenue multiplied by the gross margin, and let me drag it across. So this is gross profit. Okay, now the estimate customer profit. The churn rate is 40, 30, 25, 40. We have captured that. Retention rate is okay. First year is 100%, 60, 70, 75, 80. Okay, you managed to bring it up. The cumulative customer retention rate 1.6. Okay, so now let us calculate the estimated profit based on I mean, like you're also losing customers. We should factor that in as well. This multiplied by this. Drag the formula across. Okay, now the discount rate is 10%, that is 0.1. Control C, it is constant. Control V. Format it to percentage. Okay. Discount factor. Okay. So what is worth, let's say 100 will be like, worth less next year. You discount it by, let's say, 10%. Okay. So another way of doing it is, okay, let's say you increase it by, you divide it by what is called as a discount factor, which is this number. Okay, I think it will become clear when I finish it. Reply this. Let's. Okay, so basically I'm just using what is calculating what is called a discount factor, because it's easier to calculate, because what is worth 840 this year will be worth so much less next year, and you will have to divide by the discount factor. Now once we have these numbers, you have the initial cost that you spend on advertising, which is 1470.59. that is corresponding to your first year. The first year, this is the amount that you've spent. Okay. Second year, this is going to be customer profit. You discount it by this amount and drag it across. Okay, so far is it okay? I am absolutely not getting any response. I don't know whether others are comfortable, except Sign. Others following. Let me get a response. Shivam, you're okay? Mono, Manish, okay. I'm getting a thumbs up from Samir.
Yes, sir.
Deepak,
Yes, sir, I'm okay.
Sujadev, Prakash. Okay, fine. Okay, great. Yeah. All right. Okay, so yeah, this is a negative.
Sir, what is the formula of NPV? What is the formula of this, sir, NPV?
No, actually, see, there are two ways you can do it. One is you can directly use the Excel formula, which actually puts all the values in an array, and then you can calculate it. Here we are doing it the more traditional method. You're calculating. That's the reason I'm using the discount factor. Like say, for instance, like I said, 100 rupees, if it is discounted by 10%, will be only worth 100, like say, divided by 1.1. Like say 100 rupees, which I get 1 year from now, okay, is only worth 100 divided by 1.1 this year. See, what 100 rupees can buy this year, it cannot buy next year. Correct, Manish? Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, so what happens is, Manish, see, either Excel will do it for you. Like say you put all the values sequentially, like say at the end of the year, whatever amount you get over a period of year, you can put all the values sequentially, and you can use one single Excel formula. But I am doing this problem from first principles. So I'm just using the discount factor and manually calculating what will be the value of that over a period of time. I mean, so I'm just bringing it all together. You're specifically asking how to use the Excel formula. Is that what you're asking, Manish?
Okay.
Or is the concept of net present value that you're asking?
Okay, sir. Got it. Actually, sir, line number 25, I'm getting some different value instead of 763.64. So
which cell are you talking about?
Line 25, row number 25.
25,
and,
okay. Instead of getting 283,
so
is it?
value is 763. Yeah.
763.
So what
this
is the
that
divided? Yes.
C25.
23. Yeah. Okay.
So that
Discount.
I'm dividing by this value, no, because that is the reason I calculated discount factor. Because
okay, sir. Okay.
at the year
Now
end,
got it.
0, there is no discounting here, because the first I'm picking up this value directly. This is the end of year 0, and I'm making the investment. After first year, let's say, see, the year is here. Okay, so at the end of first year, you have to discount it by that 1.1. because 840 will be worth less at the end of 1 year. It's okay, right, Manish?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay,
Now
fine.
got it.
So yeah. So this value, it is actually expenditure, therefore it will be negative. Let me call it 0 minus that. Okay, it's equal to 0 minus that. Okay, fine. So these are the, instead of calling it NPV, let me call it PV. It's just the present value. Okay, the present value of this number, and so on and so forth. Okay, now the customer lifetime value would actually be, I will calculate, this is this first year, in fact it's negative. This becomes this value plus this value. I can just drag the formula across. Okay, hope it's fine. Okay. Okay, so assuming the discount rate of 10% and a growth rate of 70 and a gross profit margin of 70%, estimate the customer lifetime value at the end of year 5. So at the end of year 5, customer lifetime value will be 850.54. Okay, just give me a thumbs up if you understood this. Okay, so Chandev, Monu, Puneet, Samir, okay, Deepak. Okay, great. Om Prakash, fine. All right. That takes care of customer lifetime value. Okay, fine. So let's move on.